Hello and welcome to my PhD Journey YouTube channel. I'm excited to share with you all my experiences of my first semester as a full-time PhD student. This has been the longest year, it feels like, with many highs and the lowest of lows, having to grieve somebody incredibly close and dear to me, and dealing with the first year of their passing, as well as being liberated from work. And so it's been quite the year. I have survived, and I'm excited to share with you all some of the things that I have gotten up to during my fall semester. So I'll provide some highlights, some lessons learned, as well as my plans for 2023, which I am looking forward to. I'm cautiously optimistic about 2023. So this is a timeline for the UMD Information Studies program. Um, it takes roughly average 5.5 years. I'm hoping to do this in 4 to 5. And so the first year is coursework. And then there's a first year review, which is looking at ensuring that you are making progress and can achieve the milestones in the future if there's any indication that you can do so. And then year two, you finish up your coursework and then you do your integrated paper, which is the equivalent of comps or comprehensive exams. And then in 2024, 2025 is a dissertation proposal, data collection and gathering, analysis. And then 2025, 2026 is dissertation writing and defense. And so this is what I signed up for, and I've completed one semester out of several more to go. But I am very, very excited that I've started this journey. And so fall 2022, adjustment and transition, I will say, and also allowing myself that it's going to continue into the spring as well. So for me, going from a librarian to a full-time PhD student has been interesting and challenging in some points. I have a lot more autonomy than I did in my position. And despite having taken 4 classes, and I'll go into them a little bit, I had to learn how to be even more flexible and adaptable and to be kind to myself, to just be really, really kind to myself. Because I think there's a lot of times where I have unrealistic expectations of taking on the pressures of other people and recognizing that I need to really stand and let that go. And then for the 4 classes, taking some of my required classes that I needed to take this semester, as well as taking on a 10-hour creator position, and doing some community building outside of my PhD cohort. So I'm able to connect with other people who are pursuing their PhD. And this is an exploratory stage where I am being exposed to different disciplines, research areas, research methods, epistemologies, theories, and things of that nature, which is super exciting. That before I used to have to very quickly skim something to see, but now I can sit and engage with it on a deeper level and like really critique it and be engaged, which is exciting. And so I'm able to do a lot of depth as well as breadth. And so super excited about that. And like one of the research areas I came in with or ideas has shifted over the course of taking the classes, talking to other people, and also for me, starting my own research by like looking at the literature, who was doing this work, who do I need to connect with? Um, and one of the things for me is also setting aside time to read, think, process, note taking, and summarizing, coming up with 3 to 5 questions that I want to be able to answer at the end of the article, and then being able to have 3 to 5 questions to engage with it in class and things of that nature, and giving myself permission and time to dig deep and not be like, I need to rush through things. And so some of my lessons learned is advocacy, self-advocacy, like asking questions. I don't assume anything. And I verify with 2 to 3 people if there's something that I don't quite understand or it's not quite clear. I ask the questions because this is one of the biggest things that I'm embarking in my life. And I want to make sure that I am getting all the things that I need to get, and I'm doing it in the way that is right for me, and acknowledging that I am in control. Yes, that I've decided to pursue a PhD program, and to do all of the necessary things to complete the necessary milestones, but in the end, that I'm in control. And so, really taking ownership and power in that, and also choosing myself, recognizing that I don't need to do everything. And so also networking, socializing, going to one-off events, volunteering, which is a way for me to get to connect with other people, faculty, staff, students in my cohort and outside of my cohort, developing a new community and support system. I have one from the profession, for my personal life, but now one for people who is pursuing a PhD is really important to me. Intentionality and being strategic, like it is so key. Exploring with boundaries and guidance in mind. Like I have accountability partners. I have folks who have 2 people who I run everything by. I have a spreadsheet. I love spreadsheets. I have a Google spreadsheet where I have everything in it, anything that I'm doing, if I'm mentoring, if I'm a advisory member for a grant, if I am working on a blog post or a book chapter, it doesn't matter what it is, personally, professionally, academic, it's all in there. So I am able to have a list if it's like 60 something things that are ongoing, things that are one time, that I'm able to say, I cannot take on anymore. Or what are some things that I need to remove, or once it ends that I do not replace it. And remember that my worth is not tied to what I produce and how much I produce. And so that has been something that I have like really hit home for me this semester. And acknowledging not every opportunity is for me. Okay. I've had a close friend on that end. For me, not every opportunity is for me, it's not for you. And acknowledging that, like, if you have a minoritized, marginalized identity or identities, that sometimes you might be called on to do things time and time again, and acknowledging that unless you want to do it, you feel like you're getting benefits, it's actually tied to what it is that you want to do, then you shouldn't do it. And it may seem easy for me to say that from where I'm at, but this is something hard that I have to learn myself. And have fun. Like my goal is to have fun. Like I've had fun, continuing to have fun. Like this is incredibly challenging, but it's a worthwhile endeavor to me. And I have a community, many communities behind me, and I'm so grateful for them. Like I'm so grateful for all the people, for you all who have been with me from day one, that just always cheering me on, providing me support in many ways, from editing, providing letters of reference, just sending me funny memes and gifs and TikTok videos. So greatly appreciated. And building a community is so important, and it's worthwhile to take the time to do so. Look, this is seared in my head. Just because I am free doesn't mean that I am available. A close and dear friend told me this. I'll read it again. Just because I am free don't mean that I am available. And so recognizing that I don't need to be filling up my schedule. I don't need to be, um, as a friend would say, booked and busy from 8 o'clock in the morning to 8 p.m. at night. That I can have time in my schedule where I do nothing, or I do the things that I want to do, or I can gaze and ruminate and process and do what I want to do. because it's my time, and so having that spaciousness and that feeling that, expectation, oh, that I should be doing something or must be doing something, that no, you don't need to. And so, and also getting rid of distractions, for me, like losing the spreadsheet I have, it's my all commitment spreadsheet. um, is it really useful for me to be able to see, like, what are some of the things that I'm doing that doesn't feed me, that doesn't nourish me anymore, and how I can get rid of them. Sometimes it's no, I can't do this any longer, or like, no, I will rotate off of this in a month or two. Setting boundaries that are going to morph and change because you're in a different stage. I'm in a different stage. So coming up with boundaries for my personal, work, academic, and getting away from a scarcity mindset, this zero-sum game. Coming to this with like a place of abundance, and acknowledging that focusing on myself, healing and repairing is so important as I am dealing with harmful institutions and systems and people, and recognizing that my self-care is just as important and necessary for me. And I believe that self-care is community care. Um, Knowing and developing my best product, and that being too busy to not have time to do so, and no longer hiding my brilliance, okay? Owning my brilliance, and that I don't need external validation. And so these are some of the things that has took me some time that I'm still continuing to learn and grow. And so next semester, I will be taking 4 classes, 10 credits. I know. I'm doing independent study, taking class in Latin American and Caribbean studies, mixed methods class, and a methods class for information studies. I will be a TA, 10-hour a week position, teaching assistant position in information behavior. So excited about that. And then looking at exploring different research opportunities out there, solidifying some stuff, making sure that I get experience with the research methods that I'm interested in attaining, and looking more into mental health information seeking. That's an area that I'm looking forward to diving more into. And I want to say Happy New Year. It's been 2022 was quite the year, quite the year. But I've made it. We've made it. And even when it just seems like we wouldn't, we have. And one of the things that I am focused on is going from surviving to thriving, and being able to live the life that I want to live and being able to help others do the same. So please like, subscribe to my channel, comment below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you all are surrounded by loved ones, you are warm, and you are excited about 2023. I am cautiously optimistic. Take care of yourselves.